I want to shoot both of them for even alleging that. That's not okay.
I mean, this is a little crazy. I'm actually really surprised that the sheriff's department is not charging her with a false report, because I feel like anybody else would be charged. I don't know why she's exempt from that. But also, she used a lot of manpower, police hours. I wasted my damn time reporting on it. So
Yeah.
Listen, bitch, I want my time back. Okay? I want my time back.
Press charges.
Yeah, she lost custody of her children and her damn job.
Oh, God.
She's a psychopath.
She is a psychopath. I mean, but did we really expect more from Jenelle Evans?
This is a little far left. There is another one that's
that other one, that Amber.
Felonies. But still, this is too much.
Allegedly. I feel like there's a couple spots where that should go in. That she's like a psychopath and stuff.
No, that's a fact. I'll stand by that.
That's right.
For legal, I keep that
Okay.
While the whole CPS investigation was going on, we had the dog incident happen first, CPS investigation going on, MTV let me go, and then how can it get any worse, right? Yeah, it got a lot worse. The cops ended up showing up at our house with a search warrant. At the time, we weren't home. We were visiting my friend in South Carolina with her kids, and we were telling her about the whole CPS situation that happened and everything. It was really late. It was around 10 p.m., and the cops gave David a call at my friend's house in South Carolina and said, "We're at your house. We have a search warrant, and we're coming to investigate."
So yeah, it all pretty much started. It all kind of went down when we were at Janelle's friend's house, and my Ring camera went off on the front doorbell, which is not supposed to happen because the gate's closed at our house. But we were in South Carolina, and it was the sheriff, and I could see on the camera that there was like 12 police cars in my front yard, which was pretty shocking. I mean, instant rush of anxiety and not knowing what's going on. As soon as I look at the camera, that's kind of, you would think that they were looking for someone who robbed a bank.
And David literally said, "Well, can you wait until I get home, because I really need to be there for you guys to go inside my house. Can you not kick down my door?" And the cop said, "Well, you better hurry up and you better get here or we're going to kick down your door."
It was insane. And then they told me that they had a search warrant. They were going to enter the home whether I liked it or not, if I'm not home within 30 minutes. And I was like, okay. So I said, I'm in South Carolina, but it's going to take me more than 30 minutes to get there. But I called him back 30 minutes later, and I was like, hey, I'm on the way. It's going to take me like another 45, 50 minutes, but I'm on the way. So I arrived at the house without Jenelle. They said they had a warrant, and they were going to search the house to try to find a missing dog. That's what they told me. And I was like, well, there's definitely no missing dog in my house. And they said, well, we need to find your wife's dog. You need to tell us where it's at. And I was like, well, for one thing, if there was a dead dog, it was not going to be in my house. So when they asked me, where's the dog? Where's the dog? I was like, the dog was right there. I was talking about Jax. Jax was our pit bull that we had for a while. He started killing all of our farm animals, so we gave him to a friend. But when he was asking, where's the dog? Where's the dog? They were kind of crowding around me like they were going to just arrest me, which they didn't have an arrest warrant. They had a search warrant. So I was like, well, there's Jax right there. I don't know what you're talking about. So I basically just played dumb the entire time. I had nothing to tell them. Anything that I did on my property, with my property, was absolutely none of their business.
David was like, I gotta go. And my friend's husband went with David, and they drove all the way up to my house in North Carolina, which was just an hour away because we're really close to the border of North and South Carolina. So it wasn't too far. And then when David got there, they wanted David to stand in the kitchen and not touch anything, not go anywhere, and they wanted to search every room in the house. And basically, they said they were searching for the dog. As soon as he walked in the door, I pulled up my Ring camera. I have a Ring camera at my front door and in my living room. And whenever it has any motion detected, it'll automatically start recording. As you can see in these videos, the sheriffs came in, they started talking to David. There were so many cops in my house. David actually was recording from his phone at the same time.
They didn't really ask me too many more questions. You know, they kind of knew that I wasn't going to talk, which that's one thing you always have the right to do, especially if you don't have an attorney present. Don't talk. I let them search my house, but they wanted me to stay outside while they came inside and searched the house, which I was absolutely not okay with. You know, I opened the door, walked in the house in front of them. They basically told me to get out, and I refused. That's when I got my phone out, started recording.
No, there's no law says I got to stay right here. The whole inside of my house is mine. The whole entire inside of this house is mine. Everything in this house is my house. Dude, don't fucking touch me, bro. Dude, this is my house. And this guy just put his hands on me. What's your name again? Gore?
Yes, sir.
I spoke with you before.
You know, they searched the whole house, told me not to move out of the kitchen. I had like 6 cops standing around me, while 3 or 4 of them were searching the entire house. They looked all through my drawers, all through my bedroom. They looked everywhere. There's nowhere they didn't look. And there was not one thing that they found that was illegal or pertaining to the dog that they were looking for. But what I found most astonishing was that the day that the detective testified in court, he testified that my house was filthy, that there was laundry everywhere, that I must have fixed holes in the wall because there was some dust on the baseboard. He said that the kitchen counters had stuff stacked all the way up to where he couldn't even sit his paper there for me to sign it. He also said that the living room floor was completely covered and dirty, nasty, and that the dining room table had stuff all over it. But he failed to realize that we have cameras in the house, and they were being recorded the entire time. Not to mention I was recording on my phone. The only thing that was on the countertops was a couple of dishes that we had just washed, and it was like strainers and containers for milk for when we milk the goats. Other than that, you can see in the video from our Ring camera inside the house that he clearly set his paper down on the table and didn't have to move anything out of the way. He set his paper right there and I signed it. Just basically saying that the search was complete. But like I said, the entire time I was recording with my phone. So in court, when he said that our house was filthy, we just pulled up the picture and just showed him, you know, well, here's you inside the house. Like, is that you? He's like, yeah, that's me. Was this you inside David's house? Well, yeah, that's me in the house. Well, is there anything out of place? That was literally our attorney's exact words. He said, do you see anything out of place in the picture besides one shoe that's on the floor? And he said no. I mean, no further questions. You just lied. And once you tell one lie and they catch you in a lie in court, the rest of your testimony is hard to believe. We showed pictures of the entire house, and the house was perfectly spotless. You should see the videos I took with my phone when I videoed these cops inside my house. And I wasn't trying to like make fun of them or anything, but I did. It was funny.
Wisconsin. Where are you from? Washington State. Oh man, I wish we had some more drink in here. I need to fill up this juice. Let's look at some of that.
Oh, it looks so filthy.
I'm filming you guys in case you just start running at me all of a sudden. Which there's more cameras in the house.
So filthy.
There's some you can't see, because you don't know what to look for.
So there's cameras all around my house. You don't even see them. I told you.
I got cameras you don't even see, bud. Because you don't even know what they look like.
Souls.
How come you don't have a badge on? What's your name? You're required by law to tell me your name. You're in my house. No, you are, actually. So what's your name? Why? What's your name? You're in my house. If you're not gonna tell me your name, you're trespassing, and you can leave. So what's your name?
You see if I can do that.
What's your name? No, well, I'll figure out who you are, and I'll just have you charged with trespassing.
It's fine, do that.
So what's your name? You're not gonna tell me your name? He told me his name. Like, it's just a simple question. You come up here looking at my...
I thought I was just gonna jump on in the truck and haul Boogie on back to South Carolina. The CPS workers were sitting in their little van in my driveway with a stack of papers for me to sign, which I was, you know, refusing to sign the papers, and they were pretty much being as rude as you could possibly think to me. So Susan Hilburn, the social worker, she, you know, called me over to the van, and she was just being rude and telling me how she basically has custody of my kids now, that I need to pick somewhere for them to go, or they're gonna take them. Now, the thing was, I understand if there is a situation where children need to be taken out of the home. But if I'm not mistaken, they tell you the reason, right? Don't they usually give you a reason why they're going to take your children? Or are they just supposed to say, hey, sign this paperwork. Your kids they're gone. Just sign here. Hey, you guys, you're bad. Sign this paperwork. We're taking your kids. Like, what is that? You can't just not give somebody a reason why you're taking their kids or taking custody of their children and expect them to just be okay with that. Like, you know, I'm getting ready to flip my lid because they're telling me they're taking custody. And, you know, I kept it as calm and cool as I could. I took a video of the whole thing. But, you know, I pretty much told them when they said they were going to be a foster supervisor or whatever, I told her, you're not going to be shit. You ain't going to have a job when I get done with you. And that's what it should be. In my opinion, they both should have lost their jobs. Especially if you're in that position where your job is to remove someone's children from their home, then you need to take that way more seriously than what Susan did. And in my opinion, if you take someone's kids away for no reason, you deserve to go to jail. That's just the way I see it.
After the search warrant was done, there was nothing found, and the police just went along their way. Well, when we went back to court, one of the investigators that was in the video, we have the cop go back on stand after lunch break, and my lawyer pulls out all of the ring camera footage and goes, "Does this look dirty to you? Oh, there's one shoe on the floor over there. But is the house out of the ordinary? Is it unorganized? Is it dirty?" And the cop said no. So why, Detective Jacobs, why did you lie? Why did you lie about that? It blows my mind how everyone's so against me. Yet I had everything in order, complete order. I have my ducks in a row. I take my kids to their doctor's appointments, take them to their dentist appointments. I have health insurance for them. They get their shots, which I'm probably against now because of everything that's coming out about vaccinating your children. My kids were in school. They're making good grades. Marissa's grades started going down when she got taken out of our house. I emailed Susan Hilburn multiple times telling her Marissa's her grades are going down. And Susan apparently never told Marissa. And then when we got Marissa back eventually, we had to catch Marissa up because she was about to fail the grade. And it was because of me and David speaking, communicating with the school, letting them know what happened, and letting her make up her work is the reason why she passed her grade. And it's just sad that it comes down to it. It's like CPS wanted to start this big tornado, but they had no evidence, fake allegations against us. It was all, for them to profit off of us, for them to try to exploit us, for them to try to take my kids away forever. I have no idea. I have no idea their true motive and what they're trying to accomplish, but it didn't work.
Cops are now saying teen moms Jenelle Evan made up the story about her husband shooting their dog. Okay.
Oh, goodness.
Psychos. The sheriff's office claims it was all just a publicity stunt by Jenelle, and the couple are no longer facing any charges. Okay, if people are getting arrested for licking ice cream, then how the is this piece of trash not in jail?
I feel like
is the real question.
I feel like that was your Bill Maher moment. Okay.
Okay. I mean,
people are getting arrested.
Incredulous. It's craziness.
This is Jenelle. This is Detectives with the Columbus County Sheriff's Office. If you would, give me a call back at 910. Again, that number is 910. Be in reference to case number 19-1075. Thank you.
Me being involved with the cops and the whole dog incident occurring, my first encounter with the detectives was when the dog incident occurred. I was very upset and angry. I actually left my house for 3 days and I stayed with a friend in Wilmington, which is about 45 minutes from me where I live. And I stayed with my friend for about 3 days, and during the day I would hang out there, but at nighttime I would go pick up the kids from school and daycare, bring them home, and we would just go straight to sleep. I'd wake up, leave the house again, do the same thing, hang out at my friend's house, go get the kids. I would do that pattern for about 3 days. During those 3 days, I had not Detective Jacobs, but his boss, his sergeant, he called me. He left me a voicemail saying he wanted to talk about the dog incident. The sergeant left me a voicemail and he said, "Look, Jenelle, we need to know if this situation is true, false, a publicity stunt, because I have rape victims in cases that I really need to focus on, and if this is a big hoax, I need to know." And I called him back and I said, honestly, the situation did occur, and if you want to know more details about it, you can call David and ask him yourself. And that's where that conversation left. That was the first phone call I had. I did have the voicemail from the sergeant, but I deleted it. It's not on my phone anymore. So then the second time I encountered the police, I was at the CPS office for a supervised visit with the kids. Well, then after my CPS visit, they said, "Someone wants to talk to you." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." They're like, in that business room. I'm like, okay. So I walk in there, boom, 2 detectives. It was Detective Jacobs and another detective that was in my house when they did the search warrant. I'm not sure what his name was. They both sat there and they interrogated me, and they're like, what happened? Was this a hoax? Did David shoot the dog? What really happened? You need to tell us. And I was like, I'm not talking to you without a lawyer. You can ask David what happened, and that is all I am going to say. The cops kept interrogating me and digging and digging and digging, and I said, I don't know why you keep digging when you can ask David what happened yourselves. That's it. After the CPS case was done and over with, Columbus County Sheriff's Department released a media statement. Now, has Columbus County ever released a media statement before to the public, to the media, about a certain situation that happened? Maybe in the newspaper, but not writing an actual statement with the letterhead at the top. And they released this to TMZ and all the media outlets you can think of. And within there, it said, Jenelle admitted to us this was all a hoax. I never in my life admitted this was a hoax. Why would I do that if my dog isn't here? Where's my dog if this was a hoax? It really makes me upset, because then you had E! News speak about our issue. The news anchor from E! News go on and literally say, Jenelle did this as a hoax. I can't believe her. And they're talking mad shit about us. Then the commercial break is over. It comes back and she's like, I would shoot her myself.
By the way, I want to shoot both of them for even alleging that. That's not okay.
What are you talking? Did you ever call me? Did you ever ask me what really happened? Has anyone ever asked me what really happened? I really, really, really wish the cops filmed our conversations and our encounters. And I really wish either I did or they did. And I will never, ever speak to a police officer again unless my lawyer is present. And I advise all of you to do the same.